Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My name's Emma and I'm joined by my good friend Georgia Whitehouse.
Hi!
And today we are talking about the future of women's football from a female footballer's perspective. And Georgia is a women's footballer, so do you want to tell people a bit about yourself, Gigi?
So I currently play for Sutton Ladies in the Royals team. I've been there for just over a year now. I started playing when I was about 8, I think, in year 4. It was like the first women's team we had at Starland St Anne's. And yeah, just carried on from there really. Had a small gap out whilst I was like 17, 18, had a job and everything, but picked it back up at uni.
Cool. And where do you play, position-wise, at the moment?
I play on the wing, tend to be left wing at the moment, but I am right-footed. So.
Do you not want to big up yourself in your awards last season?
Yeah, no, last season I got, I was lucky enough to get Players Player and Managers Player.
So the perfect person for this video. Now, Stuart and I recently did a video titled The Women's World Cup Reviewed by Two Men, and we were very glowing about the World Cup, but we did say that the momentum needs to be continued in order for real change to be made. And I don't know if that's been done, so before I get into my opinion, George is the opinion that we really want here. So, what do you think of the state of women's football post-World Cup fever? Gigi?
I think, obviously, the whole build-up during and whilst the World Cup was happening was great, because through social media, everything, it was like, great, it was publicised and everything. But yeah, no, it's obviously on BBC and BT Sport and stuff like that, but it's, yeah, how much is actually being done, how much is being shown. So it's like, yeah, continuing.
Okay, right. I think they've been slacking. People have been really slacking because I just think, apart from a few more articles on BBC that I see on the BBC Sport app, nothing really has impacted my life in terms of exposing me to more women's football. Yeah. So that needs to change. And the first thing I've got is the double-header situation. So after the World Cup finished, or just before it finished, there was big talk of double-headers being introduced in the Premier League coinciding with the Women's Super League season. Yeah. So for example, if Man United had a fixture before or after the men's game, the women's game would be played, and then that would give fans a whole day out to experience women's football and men's football. And I think that happened on the first day of the season, but I'm not sure it's been continued since, because they did say there was going to be one-off events here and there. But I've checked the women's fixtures list on the WSL website, and they've got the locations for each of the matches on there. I can't see another fixture where it's going to be a double header between a men's game and a women's game at the same venue. So I don't think that's been continued, which is a great shame because it'd be great for fans.
Ultimately as well, if you're like, just say like a Manchester United fan or anything, then surely you'd want to support both the men's and the women's. Yeah. Like, it should be, your support like for that team should be regardless of gender, essentially. And
if you want to get the men's fans on board, that'd be the perfect way to do it, but I just do not think that has been implemented, which is quite sad. Yeah,
it's a case of as well, like, sometimes...
Oh no, I could be chatting out my arse here, but what I'm saying is that I've had a look for articles about how it's gone since then. I can't find any articles past the 7th of July when this was announced, so I can't see any facts and figures to if it's made an impact or not. So, but I can't see from the future and from the fixtures any more one-off situations where this is going to be happening. So. Yeah.
I think it's a case of as well, like in the women's games, they tend to give out like free tickets or really reduced price tickets just to get up the numbers. Yeah, the numbers there. But essentially that could be something that they could do with the men's. Like, they could be there like, oh, because people obviously have this massive perception about it anyway. So if they were to do it back to back, like you were saying, then they could see the women's game, see it, and then be more engaged with it.
But yeah, it's just a shame because they seem the plan was great, the idea was great.
It just wasn't executed.
Let's execute it. So that's the first point I've got, and the second one I've got is the way we're going to change we'll get more momentum going in terms of more viewership for the women's game is by people actually seeing the sport itself, which I'm not seeing enough of, because the main issue that I've got is that the way people consume football now has changed, because Sky Sports and BT Sport more so because they've been releasing Champions League highlights on YouTube for the last couple of seasons now, whereas this season, Sky Sports have started showing highlights of all Premier League games. both BT Sport and Sky Sports are showing the highlights minutes after the game's finished.
Yeah.
So I have no need to stay up late to watch match today anymore, and because I'm getting old, that is a flipping great thing. So I'm now consuming football very differently. I'm now going to YouTube to watch the highlights to get my fix, and that's pretty much it. I don't go to watch match today anymore, and that means there's a women's football show on BBC One whenever there's a fixture weekend for the women's game. I'm now no longer going to watch that because no one really, relatively speaking, watches terrestrial television anymore, so I'm not going to go to that. And even iPlayer is a bit of a stretch for me these days because my main sources for consuming content is YouTube, sometimes Snapchat, yeah. So YouTube, Snapchat.
No, you want a snapshot of it.
Oh yeah, so the highlights, yeah. But Sky Sports, Snapchat, excellent stuff. So I really, work on that as well. But it's YouTube, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. For me, those are the three main sources of where I consume things. And I think they're missing out on YouTube in a big bad way.
Yeah, I think Twitter as well. Like if there's a big game on, like men's game, you'd go on Twitter, you'd see obviously trending as a hashtag, and they've got the highlights of the goals and everything at the top. So yeah, you have to.
Did you follow the women's FA Twitter page? How is that?
So it's got good, like it's got interviews with players like pre or post like the games, or they'll do like warm ups and stuff like that. I think their content is really good and it's out there for people to see. And they tend to put highlights as well, like short snapshots, but it's just, the turnaround for the men's is so quick because the demand is so much, like, it's there, so they're going to turn it around so people have it. But
if they had the same turnaround for the women's stuff on the same channels, then...
That's what they should be aiming for anyway, because then if it's up there as quick, like, you're not going to go, oh, I'll check it tomorrow. Yeah. You're over it, it's already gone.
It's done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Moving on, I think, so what I would put a focus on is... Then BT Sport and the rights. BT, you should really be putting up the highlights minutes after the game's finished, just like you do the Champions League stuff. I think that's the first step to go for. Secondly, so I saw the YouTube channel for the WSL, and it's got 8k subs, and they show their own highlights on their own website. Surely then they'll be able to show the highlights on their own YouTube channel. So really grow that brand. Yeah. Like work with the YouTube algorithm and make sure you're getting the right people to your content. Maybe sponsor content as well. Just get people knowing about the channel and flocking to it, because the way people are going to see. Because people think the major stereotype before the World Cup was that women's standard of play was so much less than the men's. But that is not the case anymore. The Women's World Cup showed that. So people need to see the sport, see the games, and then be like, you know what, this is actually really good. I'm going to invest more of my time into this.
Like they must have invested so much to get all these celebrities to announce the players for the England squad. Yeah. And they had the backing of that, which obviously they must have invested loads in. But surely they could be putting their time and energy into now. Yeah. Like what's happening now? Like do people even know there's games on at the moment?
That's the thing, like I'm not getting exposed to the information as much as they should, and it's just a shame. I think there's been a bit of everyone's been slacking, I think. There's I mean, the women's football show is great, that's one thing, but that's only one angle over the numerous others that they should be incorporating. But I think YouTube's the way you're going to get the right people, because you not only get sort of our generation, but the younger generation as well, who are becoming the girls who saw the Women's World Cup for the first time, realise, I could go down this path, and then they could see these videos on YouTube, because this is where they're at.
It's also, we want to get to those like typical men stereotypes.
And the lads,
that are like, oh, women can't play football or whatever.
That's what I mean. So if the videos are showcased on the BT Sport channel, loads of lads are already subscribed to that, and that'll change opinion there as well. So you've got to show it on the same channels as you're showing the men's game. Otherwise, true quality in the sport is never going to happen.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think that's all I've got. So do you have anything else to add, Gigi?
Yeah, no, just generally, I think it should be, it's a case of, we want to make sure younger generations are like knowing about football, but not even just football, just any like male, like dominated like sports, anything like that, and making it more, it's like socially acceptable if there was a female commentator or a female referee. Like you've got like Alex Scott and like Jordan Nobbs and stuff like that, so they're like doing it more for like the women's and even the males, that like they're on the panel.
Because Alex Scott's done lots of stuff with the men's football as well.
Yeah, no, she does loads.
Making loads there.
But it should just be more commonly, like if there was a female referee or something, that should be absolutely fine.
Do you think that they should not make a big deal about it anymore? Say there's a female referee, because they always like make a point that there is a female referee.
Just do it. Yeah. Just don't highlight the situation. Like it's absolutely fine. Like that's the thing as well. Don't make it a bigger deal than it is. And it should just yeah, like young girls should be absolutely fine with going, yeah, I'm playing football, because there's so many. Even now to this day, like I'll be there like, and I say I play football, and there's so many things that are like, what? You play football? Oh, do you play on a full size pitch? And yeah. So, oh, do you play 90 minutes? Yeah, like. Funnily enough, but we can run around for 90 minutes. But yeah, like just social things like that. So they need to focus. Obviously, that's at an England level, and that's the highest level. But they also need to work down as well, because that's just generally. So imagine if you're like a professional football player at that level, and you're still getting asked these stupid questions. So yeah.
And final question, I think. Even though this is the case at the moment, but where do you see the future of the women's game?
I think it's just going to continue to progress. I think the World Cup was a massive, like increase,
boost.
And and I think it's only going to continue to grow. Like I get so happy when I see like a little girl on a Sunday in like a football kit or something. And there are now, even from a young age, there are like young girls teams. It's not a case of you've got to hit this age or anything. It's as young as when you're like a little kid now. So I think that's great, and I just, hopefully it just becomes more like acceptable and not
normalised?
Kind of thing. So not, like you said, not picked out if there is like.
It shouldn't be a big deal.
No, not at all.
Just it needs to be more accessible. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So should we do that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, if you like the video, guys, please like and subscribe. Until next time, BT picks up.